Hi everyone, this is Eliana. I hope you're all having a great day. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to edit your newborn images using the Baby Bundle set. The Baby Bundle set is available in the shop, and basically it gives you all the tools you need to create really awesome newborn edits. Okay, so let's get started. First things first, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and upload the actions included in the set onto Photoshop Elements. I'm using Photoshop Elements version 12, but the Baby Bundle set also works with version 11 as well. Okay, so when you open up the Baby Bundle set, this is what it's going to look like. Now, there's two ways to upload the actions. The first way is to go to, let me go ahead and uncheck this to show you how to use it from the start. Okay, the first way is to go to Window and Actions. And that's going to go ahead and open up the Actions panel, and then go to this little icon right here and Load Actions. And basically, you would then search for your actions. In this case, they would be wherever you downloaded them onto your computer, and then simply click on them and it will upload them onto the panel. The second way to load them is to simply go to your actions in the folder and then simply click and drag them onto your Photoshop Elements icon, like so. Okay, so there's 3 different sets total included in the Baby Bundle set. So I'm going to go ahead and click and drag all 3 of those sets. Then I'm going to go to Window and Actions, and here are the sets right here. And I am also going to go to Window and Layers to open up my layer panel. Okay, so in this particular image, what I first want to do to edit it is I want to fix the image when it comes to the crinkles in the background. So in order to do this, I am going to use the overlays included with the set. So the overlays are inside of the folder that says Newborn Background Overlays in Action. And in the case of this particular image, I'm not looking to change the color of the background here. I want to leave it at this mint color. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the colorfuls and select the mint overlay. I'm simply going to drag it into Photoshop Elements and then select the overlay using the Select tool. Using the Select tool, I am going to drag around the overlay, and that will select it for you. And then go to Edit and Copy. And then simply go back to your image and go to Edit and Paste. And this will paste it right over your image. Now, in this case, the overlay is a lot larger than this image, so I'm going to resize it by going to Image, Transform, and Free Transform. And then I'm going to click on this point while hitting the Shift tool on my computer. So it's very crucial that you do this while hitting the Shift tool, because it's going to leave the overlay at the correct proportions. Okay, so in this case the overlay was a lot larger than the image, so I need to resize it quite a bit. Okay, there we go, and then I'm simply going to click on the check tool. Now, what I'm going to do next is select the effect that I want to place the overlay at. You can leave it on normal if you choose and simply play around with the opacity, or you can change the effect to lighten, screen, soft light, overlay. There's a lot of different options here. I usually always use the overlay on screen or normal. That's what I do personally. However, there's a lot of different effects to play around with, so just click around and choose whatever you prefer. In this case, I am going to select screen, and I'm going to lower the opacity just a tad. And now what I want to do is I want to remove the effect from the baby. Okay, so in order to do that, I'm going to add a layer mask to my overlay, and I'm going to add a layer mask by making sure that my overlay is selected and then clicking on the layer mask icon right here, and that's going to add a layer mask. Then I'm going to make sure my layer mask is selected, and I'm going to go to my paintbrush, and I am going to set my paintbrush to black. And you set it to black by making sure that black is the frontal color here. And then you can play around with the size of your paintbrush right here as well as the opacity. I'm going to leave the opacity as so at 100%, but I'm going to go ahead and make the paintbrush a little bit smaller. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in to really get a good idea of where I'm painting on the image. And again, I'm going to make sure that my layer mask is selected. Then I'm simply going to paint over the image. Okay, so what you need to remember here is that black conceals and white reveals. So I'm painting over the baby with my black paintbrush, and it's basically concealing the effect anywhere that I'm painting. And where there's white on the layer mask, that's everywhere that the effect is revealed onto the image. So again, black conceals and white reveals. So let's say that I messed up and I happen to paint over on the background. As you can see, it concealed the effect on the background. If I wanted to reveal the effect again on the background, I would go ahead and set my paintbrush to white, and then I would simply paint over it to reveal the effect again. So it's as easy as that. Okay, so that looks pretty good to me. And I'm going to go ahead and see what this looks like at normal. I think I actually like it at normal better than screen. Again, it's just totally up to you and your preference. But I am going to leave it at normal, and I'm going to go ahead and heighten the opacity a bit to about, let's say, 80%. And you can see the before and after effect by clicking here on the eye, and that will activate and deactivate it. So I'm going to deactivate it to see the before. Here's the before, and reactivate it to see the after. Before and after. Before and after. Okay, so it's really simple, guys. That's all you have to do in order to remove crinkles and any sort of discoloration on the background. I'm going to go ahead and flatten the image, and we're done. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use the different action tools on your images. Okay. So, in this case, we have a bit of red on the skin. It's not really drastic, but a lot of times on newborn skin, there tends to be some skin discoloration of redness or some yellow. So, in order to correct that, you would simply go to your set that says Newborn Portrait, open it up, and again, all the sets come with instructions. So simply click on the instructions and hit the play button to run those instructions, and it'll run you through on how to use all of the actions. But in this particular case, I am going to use the skin actions, and I'm going to hit the redness corrector and press play. So as you can see, it's a black layer mask, meaning that the effect has not yet been revealed. So in order to reveal it, I'm going to click on my paintbrush and make sure that my paintbrush is selected to white. I'm going to make sure that my layer mask is also selected. And I'm simply going to paint on the area that I want the effect revealed. And as you can see, it's taking away some of that redness from the skin. Now you have to be careful when using this effect because you don't want to leave the skin, you don't want to strip it basically out of all its color because then it'll look too pale. So go ahead and just lower the opacity when using this effect and just lower it to taste until it looks natural. So here's the before and the after. Before and after. In this case, the skin wasn't too red, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it at a pretty low opacity of about 30%. Okay, that looks good. And then I'm going to go ahead and flatten the image. And there's many different things you can do here. There's tools to work on the eyes, there's blush, radiant smile, gloss in the smile and cheek section. There's a light definition section to make the subject really pop from the background and stand out. And there's face and hair definition to add some light effects onto the face and hair areas. And again, there's a lot of actions that are applicable towards the entire image and actions that are applicable onto certain areas of the image, such as the skin. In this case, I want to add creamy skin onto the baby, so I'm going to go ahead and just click on that and run the action. And again, the instructions pop up. Use a white brush to paint over the black layer mask and paint the skin for an ultra creamy effect. So again, just make sure the layer mask is selected, make sure your paintbrush is selected, and make sure it's on white. And then simply paint over the baby's skin to add a creamy effect. It's as easy as that. Okay, and this is a very, very subtle effect. So I'm going to go ahead and heighten the opacity of that. And here's the before and the after. Before and after, and before and after. I'm going to go ahead and flatten the image. Okay, so that's a little bit on how to use the skin tools. As for the eyes and smile and cheeks, these are particularly really great to use on toddler portraits as well. Let's go ahead and head to a different image here. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and use the subject background pop tool on this image to really make the baby stand out from the background. So it says, number 1, select the background black layer mask, which is this one, and with a white paintbrush paint over the background of your image. 2, select the subject pop black layer mask, which is this one, and with a white paintbrush paint over the skin of the subject. And 3, select the subject pop 2 black layer mask, which is this one right here, and with a white brush paint over the skin of the subject. Again, in doing these 3 steps, more attention will now be drawn to your subject as he or she will pop from the background. Okay, so again, I'm going to go ahead and select the backdrop layer mask, and using a white paintbrush, I'm simply going to paint over my background. And I'm doing this really quickly just to demonstrate how to do it, but obviously in your case, I suggest taking a little bit more time with it to really make sure it looks nice and natural. And now I'm going to go ahead and, oops, I'm going to go ahead and go to Undo Tool. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to the Subject Pop tool, and I'm going to go ahead and paint over the subject now. And now I want to go ahead and go to the second Subject Pop tool mask, and I'm going to go ahead and paint over the subject again. And that's it. And in order to see the before, simply deactivate the layers. And this is the image before. That's it after. Before and after. So as you can see, it really makes the subject pop from the background. So that's one tool that I particularly really love. I'm going to go ahead and delete that effect to show you guys the last set. Oh, excuse me, actually there's 2 more sets. The baby action tool set can really be applied on any image. It really fits any type of image really nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and simply play that. And what it does is it helps correct for redness and yellow in the skin. It brightens up the image and adds a bit of contrast and color. So it really works great on any image. I'm going to go ahead and lower the opacity. And here's the before and after. And it's super natural. And before and after. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and delete that effect. And lastly, I'm going to quickly run through the baby rose set. Now, unlike the newborn portrait set has everything you need to basically correct anything in the image, such as underexposure, overexposure to brighten it, sharpen the image. For example, here's the sharpen tool. Again, to correct any redness or yellow in the skin, to add a baby powder, creamy effect, butter glow to the skin. Flawless Skin is really great for correcting any kind of bumpy parts on the skin or anything like that. That's a really great tool for that. And again, there's tools for the eyes, smile and cheeks, as well as light definition, as well as a sharpen tool to sharpen particular areas of the image. I just played the sharpen tool for the overall image, so it affects the overall image here, whereas the sharpen particular area tool will just allow you to sharpen certain things. For example, if you just want to sharpen the eyes, it works perfectly for that. So this was a sharpen tool, which really sharpens the image. I am going to go ahead and delete that effect. And now, lastly, again, I'm just going to show you how to run through the Baby Rose set, which simply includes effects. So it's an entire different set, which unlike this set, again, which includes tools to sort of fix things, this includes tools to really enhance the colors in the image and give the image a particular style or effect. So this would be the last set that you would use in the Baby Bundle series. Okay, so again, there's the instructions here which you can play. If there's any need to correct any exposure, you can go ahead and run the auto histogram correctors, or you can run goodbye overexposure or goodbye underexposure. And here are the different styled actions that will give a particular style to your image. For example, cotton candy will add a very soft, gentle, rosy effect to your image. Before and after. I'm going to go ahead and lower the opacity just a tad. And before and after. And here's another image I will run cotton candy on. And before and after. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and delete that, and let's try Matte Shimmer. Matte Shimmer gives it a really nice matte effect with a bit of contrast in there. So here's the before and the after. Before and after. And let's try Matte Shimmer on this image as well, to really give you an idea of how these different actions work. And here's the before and the after. Before and after. Okay, and Milk Tea will add a really nice creamy effect to your image. It adds a dreamy, soft, really beautiful style. And here's the before and the after. Before and after. That's one of my personal favorites. Let's go ahead and try it on another image. Okay. And before and after. And before and after. Okay. And now let's go ahead and run baby powder, which really brightens up the image and adds a nice, soft, gentle baby powder effect to the skin. Before and after, and before and after. And we can go ahead and let's try it on this image as well. Before and after. And Clean Sparkle just really works really nicely for any image. It adds some contrast and brightens up the image and sharpens it as well. Before and after, and before and after. And I'll play on this image as well. And before and after. So I hope that gave you a good idea of the different effects provided inside the Baby Rose set. With this particular image here, again, this would be a good image to use the redness corrector tool as well as the yellow corrector tool. I'm going to go ahead and run the baby powder tool quickly on this image to give you a quick idea on how you would use that tool. Again, you would simply click on the layer mask, make sure you click on your paintbrush and set it to white. And then while making sure that your layer mask is selected, simply paint over the skin. And it'll add a very gentle baby powder effect. And here's the before and the after. Before and after. And of course you can heighten or lower the opacity to taste. Okay guys, so that's it for the baby bundle set. I know this video was super duper long, but I really wanted to give you an idea on how to use it and how it works. And I know there's been a lot of you asking for a video showcasing how to use it. Again, if you have any other questions, please make sure to check out the instructions. Those will really give in-depth details on how to use the set. And if you have any further questions on using it, don't hesitate to shoot me an email and provide me with any questions that you have, and I'll be sure to go ahead and reach out and answer all your questions as soon as possible. I hope this I hope this video helps you all, and I hope this set helps you all edit your images as well. It's one of my personal favorite sets. And thanks guys so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day. Bye guys.